Another wonderful day to be alive. It's good
Mm-hmm.
to see everyone again. We thank God for the grace to be here today. And here we are again, wonderful people out there, myself and my able business partners. And today we have a guest in our midst who is joining us on this discussion. Let me just let everybody introduce themselves. I know, we're from different part of the world. Let me put it that way. All right. So I have Mudupe. Mudupe, briefly tell us about yourself. For those who are seeing us for the first time, maybe this is their
Wow.
first time of viewing or
Okay.
seeing the replay.
Okay. Thanks for the honors. Hi, everyone. Wherever you're joining in from us, greetings. My name is Modupe, and I reside in California with my family, all the way from West Coast, North America. Good
Wow.
to have you all. Thank you.
Yeah.
And good to have you again. And I go straight to Motunrayo. Hmm.
All right. Hello,
Bob,
hello, everyone. Motorayo Emily here, saying hello to you, all the way from Texas, Houston to be precise. Yeah, good to have you all here.
thank you, Motunrayo. And I have Omolara next to Motunrayo.
Hi everyone, good evening. This is Omolara OT consulting all the way from Texas, Houston, Texas. So I'm a neighbor to Mutunrayo.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Thank you
good.
for joining.
Okay. And Bemisola is our guest today. Bemisola, can you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, it's so nice to be here today. I'm really happy to be part of this today. My name is Bemi Sola, as has been said, and I'm from Canada, Ontario, Canada. Yeah,
Good.
nice to
Okay.
be here.
You're welcome, Bemisola. And myself, Adebola Kolawole from New York in the United States. Thank you all for joining us. And I hope those who are not able to watch the live will, you'll be able to see the replay afterward. So today, let's not waste time. We're going to be talking about assets versus liabilities. I was thinking about this and I thought, okay, a lot of time we hear about this topic, where those words, and we really don't even think so much about it to say, okay, am I really in good play in a good place when it comes to this topic? So today we're just going to try to educate people. We're not experts, just our own little knowledge of what we can do with this topic. We would do that today, and we hope that you learn something from us. So let's just talk generally, what an asset is, what a liability is, and how these things relate to our everyday life. So I will start with Mudupe. You know, give us your own take on this topic: assets versus liabilities.
Great. So she decided to put me on the outset,
Mhm.
and I'm
Because
glad.
you are the accountant in the house.
And I gladly accepted it. Yeah, so it's the two word asset liabilities. I mean, to our audiences, I mean, at times they sound like the two elephant, in the room that we need to kind of clear out, especially when it comes to financial literacy. So it goes just beyond the word asset. Oh, I have all this asset. I have all this. What exactly are assets? What exactly are liabilities? So in a layman language, not to confuse anybody, and we are not taking you to the accounting classroom. Okay, so I'll say those assets are those things that put money into your pocket.
Hmm.
Anything whatsoever, okay, that you can imagine, that you can visualize, that you can relate with, that will bring money into your pocket, it's your asset. Now, when it comes to liabilities, anything that will cost you, or it's probably taking money away from you, instead of adding to you, it's actually subtracting you. Layman language, mark my word, that's your liability. And so I've kind of like given the layman definition. And so if we're trying to pinpoint and start looking at what are those examples, right? Or if I want to lay hands and I say, what is my asset? Cash or cash equivalent, those are simple, those are like already turned into cash. That's an asset. That's the simple asset you could imagine or think about. A lot of us would think, oh, I have my cars. I don't care if it's your Bugatti. I don't care if it's your Tesla. Is it giving you money? I say no, it's not. Even though you know it enables you to move from point A to point B, makes you mobile and you're moving, right? In the eyes of an ordinary person, you think that's an asset. But the mere fact that it's not giving money to you, well, maybe it enables you to get to your place of work, get those things done, it
Mhm.
enhancing certain things. I can't necessarily rule it out and call it a liability, but I just want to make sure we cut across and define lines of what are my asset and what are my liabilities. So
Thank
example
you
of
very
a
much.
liability.
Thank
Thank
you very much. If we allow Modupe, she's going to continue, and we won't leave this place. So,
I wonder why you started with me.
and
Thank you.
she just opened the floor. She just uh ushered us into what we're going to be talking about today. So you now know that asset is something that puts money in your pocket. All right. So let's go to our guests. uh Sola, I mean, being a business owner also, I mean, there's a reason why you have a business, and I believe you may have a regular job or so. But what is your take on this topic? Modupe has told us what an asset is. All right, so
Yes.
can you
Okay,
just
so um, I like the way Modupe has opened this up. She's really made it very simple for
mhm.
anybody to understand. She has given the simplest definition for an asset and a liability. And I'll take it up from the car that she stopped with, right? A lot of people think their cars are assets, even though she was short of saying it is a liability. As far as I'm
Mhm.
concerned, I will put a car as a liability. The reason being that it costs you something. You have to keep repairing something, you have to keep replacing something. It's costing you money. It might be able to move you from one place to the other, maybe to your workplace to earn money, but it's in no way
So
near.
should we not have a car?
Huh?
Should we not have a car to
No, no, no.
drive
There are certain liabilities that you need to have. In fact, let me say something, and people might think this is just being, this is me being unfeeling or something.
around?
People are liabilities. When you have children, they are liabilities. When you have old parents, they become liabilities. Does that mean we shouldn't have children
Mhm.
or we shouldn't have parents? Absolutely not. But a liability is simply something that takes money from you.
Out of
And we love our children. Yes, we do so dearly. But they take a lot of money from us.
Mhm.
Raising them up takes a lot of money. And when your parents begin to get old, of course, you want to take care of them. You want to give them the best health care possible. And that is a liability. And people don't like to think of it like that because they think, oh, I love my parents. I can't call them a liability. But the truth is, speaking, factually,
Mm.
that is exactly what they are. So, yes, I really love this topic that we've chosen today. It's something some people don't want to talk about, but
Yeah,
it's very, very important we be able to pinpoint what our liability is and what our assets are.
thank you very much.
Want me
Thank
to keep
you.
going? Because I can speak,
No,
I
no,
can
no,
keep going on
thank
this
you.
too.
And I mean, you just complimented what Mudupe said, and
Yeah,
I really love that. Liabilities are anything that takes money from your pocket. They don't add value; they take from you. Those are liabilities, and you pinpoint some things, and I believe these are things that we need to have. Like I said, should we not have a car, or should we not have a house?
Mhm.
And some other things like that. So Motunrayo, what do you have to say? Picking it up from there, you know.
All right. Thank you so much. So I would like to buttress on what Modupe and Gbemisola has said. There are a lot of liabilities that we have that are inevitable. We just
Okay.
have to have them. Say, for instance, you are in the diaspora, you can say you won't have a car. But you and I know that there is no way you will have that car without fueling it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is no way you will have that car without you doing some maintenance. And there may be a time when that car will break down. Even though it is necessary, it is a liability. Okay? Now, the question we should ask ourselves is, do we have an asset in place that is able to cater for all these necessary liabilities?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do
That's
we
that.
have something to cater for them that when the time comes to care and to maintain these necessary liabilities, that we can't do without. Our cars that is necessary, our children that are so dear to us, to take care of them now and to secure their future. Our parents that have done a lot to take good care of us. It is now time for us to take good care of them. Do we have what it takes? And that is when it comes to asset.
Mm-hmm.
Where is our interest as individuals, especially those of us that have come to seek greener pastures here? Do we see that, oh, I'm done with wherever I'm coming from jumping from Okada to Molue and BRT and everything. And now I have the opportunity to buy a car. And so instead of buying something that is within my reach, I'm going for Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
right? That I
Yeah,
know I
very
have to
right.
continue to pay car note every now and then without me even thinking of saving anything.
Oh.
And that is where what we are bringing to us today. Some of us in the diaspora here, we look at it that we want to get more involved with those liabilities,
Yeah,
even though we can,
we want to
yeah,
live well. We want to live
we
well.
want
The
to live
American
well, we
dream,
want
Yippee.
to,
you know.
and
Okay.
so, it is just not, we should have the right mindset when it comes to liability and asset. What do you have to take care of you? And that is where my business comes to play.
All right.
We
Thank
will
you very
talk
much,
more about that.
Muturayo. So, Muturayo is trying to tell us now that we need to be aware of the things that we accumulate as liabilities. We need to make sure that they are necessary sometimes, not just okay, anything. Like I was, just like the business. You want to start a business and you oh, I have to when it comes to I have to put down some capital for the business, then it becomes something difficult to do. But we find it so easy to get to a car dealership and just enter into, excuse me, a loan agreement to get a 20,000 car, a 30,000 car without, we just sign it up and we start to pay it every in. So that
Mhm.
means there we should have priorities. We should be able to plan. So, Omolara, before we forget you, what's
You
we
can't
can
even
take
forget
from
me.
here, and let's hear your thoughts on this.
Moturayo, Mudupe, and I guess Bimisola have said a lot about asset and liability. And if we look at it very well, both goes together. Where there is an asset, there is always a liability. Where there is a liability, there is always an asset. And most people believe having a car, it's an asset. To some people, it's an asset. To some people, it's a liability. And then you buying a car, just like what we use, I mean, it's what we have been using as an example. And so you having a car, definitely maybe your repayment time, it's usually mostly is like 7 years. And then because you got a car that you are paying a car note on, your obligation is to pay this car note every month,
And on
you know,
time.
exactly, for the rest of that 7 years. And within that 7 years, like somebody said, I think Muktura said, there's going to be maintenance. You have to maintain it. And all this money is coming out from, let's say, maybe somebody that doesn't have business on the side. All this money for maintenance, all this is coming out from a paycheck. So now tell me, where when all this is happening, how can you save? I mean, there is no way we can save for us to say, okay, we want to have this asset. We cannot save because likewise, we have other family back homes that we need to help. Maybe you are the one that has a house. House also is like liability because when you acquire or when you buy a house, you're going to be paying mortgage on it. And mostly in America, I don't know any other part of the country, in America it's 30 years. So when you pay mortgage, that mortgage, you are also, you have an obligation for 30 years to pay that mortgage. And so that's your liability. That's not an asset. When you want to say, okay, my asset, I have an asset on this house, is probably when you already pay off your 30 years loan. And by the time you want to sell your house, eventually there's going to be an equity. So within 30 years, maybe you bought a house, you purchased a house for, by the time you got a house, you bought it for like, let's say 150,000 US dollar. And within the time frame of 30 years, the equity has accumulated to probably like, let's say the house has worth maybe like 350,000. So you take out that your 150,000, the initial price of that house,
That's a
you
good
take it
asset.
out. Exactly. When you take it out, the remaining equity is what you can call your asset. And so you can have both assets on her house, and also you can have as liability on her. But for car, we cannot say a car is an asset; is a liability. Thank you.
Thank you, Mulara. Thank you very
Can
much.
I quickly chip in something as it came to
Yes,
me?
what's Mulara?
Is the fact that even, what we are bringing to you is to tell you that with the explanation Omolara has given, okay, you can have an asset, a home, a liability, and an asset together, right? But we are giving you an opportunity that you don't even have to wait till those 30 years.
That's
If you
right.
have something on the side, you don't need to wait for those 30 years. You can, measure up in half of those years or
Thank
even
you.
lesser than that
Thank
to
you,
create
Muturayo. Thank you
something
for
better
that.
for yourself.
Thank you for that. I know you are on fire and you really want to get it out there. All right. So now we've talked about asset liability. We all understand what those two words mean. So that means the most important thing is that your asset must outweigh your liabilities, no
That's right.
matter what. And you also need to be careful the things that you accumulate as liabilities. Make sure that you don't just jump into just getting everything because, oh, I need this. They have to be a necessity. They have to be needed. They have to be things that you need. And so now, what should we do? How can we make sure that we're able to maintain those needed liabilities, if I may use that word, or those can't do without liabilities? How can we maintain them? We talk about cash flow. There must be cash flow. So what are the things that we can do to make sure that there is a cash flow that is also maintaining our assets and helping us to meet our needs? I'll go back to Modukbe.
I guess so. I was waiting for you. Thank you. So, piggybacking on what everybody had mentioned, and so you're saying, how do we really break free out of a liability-oriented mindset, and then get us in that circle or that frame of of being asset-oriented? One of the things I'm going to share with our audience is that financial freedom will only happen when our overall cash flow exceeds and it goes beyond our overall expenses.
Expenses.
We've talked about great pointers, and we've looked into so many examples, and we could go over and over. We could counter each other's points and whatnot, but we want to make sure that everybody lives here with the mindset of saying that well, everybody on earth, and mark my word, everybody on earth love a good life. Everybody, nobody here will say, oh, I am anti good life. Everybody loves good life. Everybody loves to enjoy good life.
That's
But
right.
but what comes to play is there is time for everything. Now, so I will be doing myself more harm than good if I'm enjoying life when I should be gathering and working and ensuring that I have something in place. I have a system set up. I have something, that will be able to generate that excessive cash flow that I hope to work for me in later years. And so part of the things we need to do to make sure that that cash flow is sustained, it's intact, it's discipline. Discipline comes to play. So when I am not disciplined and I just want to, like they say, from my mother tongue, I have my 10 fingers, you could probably see, and I'm actually using my 10 fingers to eat, then I'm doing myself more harm than good. I need to be disciplined. I need to understand where is my destination. That wherever I am part time, my probably it's either I'm in transit or I've actually got into my destination. So if that's not my destination, I will be doing myself more harm than good to now actually think, okay, I want to settle down and be very comfortable when indeed I am not comfortable, when I am just, being waved by that misconception of, oh, I have this, I have all this, okay, because maybe my peers have all this jewelry and I want to make sure I also have that. And I, try to compete with them. That is not my destination. That is not my focus. I have to be disciplined. I have to be determined. I have to stay focused and understand what exactly I want for myself. What we all want for ourselves differ per family, per individual, per community. But there's still this singular factor that we all want to change. We all want this good life. How do we get there? We all need to see that. But discipline cut across board, commitment, staying focused, cut across board. We can't go wrong with those. So I will not have financial freedom until my cash flow exceeds my overall expenses.
Thank you very much, 𝗠𝗿𝗃𝗍, the accountant. That was a good one. That was a good one. And, it's always good to hear you speak. Okay. And you've all heard her, you have to, I don't want to say cut your coat according to your size, but if that's what you have to do, then you have to do that. Just don't be wasteful. Don't just overspend on things that are not necessary. So, 𝗠𝗿𝗃𝗍𝗏, do you have anything to say regarding, the solution or what we should do or what we need in order to be able to make sure that our asset outweighs our liabilities at all time?
Absolutely. Like Modupe has said, your cash flow has to be more than your liabilities, what you're spending, right? And for me, one of the ways to have that happen is to invest. Now, when Adebola was talking earlier, she said something that is really, really very important. And that's the fact that some people find it so easy to walk into a car dealership, pay this exorbitant amount of money without batting an eyelid,
Debt,
and they just walk out.
loan.
Yes, loan, right? They have that loan going. But if you tell them to put a fraction of that into an investment that will be bringing in even more than what they've put in, say, a couple of months, a year, then they start to question, is it right? Should I do it? Is it okay? But you didn't put in all those questions when you walked into the car dealership. Like, you didn't ask, is it okay for me to buy this now? Would it bring me money? Would it? None of those. And it's simply because of another point Modupe made, our mentality, our thinking, the way we see things, our mindset. Yeah, everybody wants to look big. You want to look like you've got it all. But, if you want to plan for your liabilities, especially those liabilities you can't do anything about, you have to leave that mindset. You have to be able to leave that mindset and think more of your future than of your present. What do you want your life to be, right? Maybe some people think, oh, I have a particular amount of savings for my retirement. Guess what? If somebody falls ill within your family and you have to fund some hospital bills, you'd be through that money faster than you put it there. Now, what you need is not just savings. What you need is something bringing in money constantly, things that you don't have to be on top of every day. You can do other things and they'll be bringing you money. And what do we call that? Passive income. Passive income. Exactly. So that for me is one of the best ways to grow your assets. Have passive income.
All right. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to go to Mutuara because she's been eager to talk about it. So now,
that's why I left it for her.
All right. Tell us how you are doing it. Tell us how, you've been able to get to what 𝗠𝗿𝗃𝗍𝗏 just said, talking about creating a passive income, a cash flow to maintain your assets and take care of your needs.
Thank you so much. So the first thing I did was to have a candid discussion with myself. I know that I need to. My two jobs that I was running then cannot solve my situation. cannot get me to where I was envisioning myself to be. I want to enjoy life before I retire.
Abiel, before you
I want
Yes.
to
how old will you
That
I
be?
is
don't
very
want to get to
necessary.
65, then I
That is
retire,
very
then
necessary.
oh no. Then when I retire at that 65, then I become liability to my children. No.
Mm,
Mhm.
I want to create something great for them.
Yeah.
that's
And
right.
I want to enjoy this one life that I came, I want to enjoy it to the fullest.
I trust you.
And that is what I'm bringing to everybody until you realize that as you go to your bed tonight, okay, pray to God and have a discussion with yourself until you come to that conclusion of I've got to make change things around.
Mm-hmm.
It is possible. If people are doing it, what is stopping me from doing it? Okay, I've got to change the narration and look at it from this aspect. Ask yourself, what is that liability that I have? What is that asset that I have?
And you want to get rid of.
And yeah,
Just
and
now.
look at it that your asset provides you with future economic benefit,
Yes.
while your liability provides you what? Future obligations.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not just for now, but for the future.
The future.
So what I did was to step out of my comfort zone. I saw this opportunity of a business.
If you don't say it
I,
quickly, I will go to Omolara.
my
Oh,
dear, I will say it so quickly. So
please let
I
us say
saw
it.
this business opportunity. I made my findings and I found out that this is very legit. And just like you would do any other business, you make your findings. And
Yeah.
I stepped in. And since December of 2020, oh my God, my only regret is why didn't I do this
See
earlier than
earlier.
now?
No,
That's
I am
right.
loving my journey all the way.
Adebola, can you just let me say something to what Moturaya mentioned? So she said
okay.
everybody going to bed, have a thought, have a one-on-one with yourself. So
Mhm.
Okay.
me, myself, and I kind of.
Mm-hmm.
She said, so we had so like, it got me thinking again, and I think maybe our audiences would like to hear this. So a lot of us probably have liabilities sitting in our houses right as we speak right now. Those
Mhm.
liabilities are just lying there, fallow, doing nothing. A lot of us have coaches. We have what? Bags. We have Ferragamos. We have all these designers.
Right. I was going to
That we
say
don't
that.
Those
use.
things are piling up. What are you? It's either we are not even carrying them. Well, something happened and we were all locked down and whatnot. Maybe we started going out again and all that. But can we just do? And it's springtime. Can we just do a spring cleaning and see
Mhm.
those things that are
Yeah.
considered liabilities? Maybe some of us have some, I don't know, gadgets that we no longer use. And those things we could toss them out and turn them into value for
To
ourselves.
value.
And then
Yeah.
you keep hearing us talking about, hoping start a business of your own, and you're like, well, this is going to be capital intensive. I probably don't have it. And we are actually sitting on that capital right now as
Capital.
we speak. We're
Exactly.
sitting on it, we're not using it. And then it keeps depreciating if we are not careful. So
That's
that's
right.
since Motorayo kind of said, go to bed one-on-one with yourself. You can as well just think about those things, spring cleaning time. What
Yeah.
are those things you have that you could turn into cash? And then you could take advantage of this
Okay.
old,
Exactly.
crusade that we keep talking about. No one should be left behind. It's what? 21st century. Get
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
something running for yourself. Your 9 to 5 is no longer going to cut it. You need a
No.
passive income. Now,
Mm-mm.
in fact, you need it yesterday.
Yeah.
Now is even too late. So don't even
Totally
wait till
agree.
tomorrow before you get something doing. Thank you, Adebola, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Modupe. You said your bit, and thank you very much for that. It's sometimes you see us talk with passion. It's just like we just really wanted to get it, like get it now. Like you said, get it yesterday. Not you just need to get it. It's real. It's real. We can, when your mindset has changed, when you see things in a new way, then you will understand what we're trying to talk about. Omola, do you have anything to say before we round up?
Yes. I'll say as an employee, there is no way we can accumulate asset from our paycheck. And I was just going to say what Modupe said because
That's gonna be
Sorry.
difficult.
we have a lot of people. They have their mentality is like, oh, I want to get, just like she mentioned, Ferragamo. I want to buy this, and we have tons of it in our closet, sitting down there, laying down there, nothing. Because at the end of the day, when you bring everything out, you evaluate their worth, it's enough for another person to establish him or herself to start up a business. But why are we wasting time? Why are we wasting money? Because at the end of the day, we said, oh, I have an asset, I have this, I have that. The only asset you can acquire that will never depreciate is for you to get a land. Buy a land. I mean, if anybody might think, okay, why should I buy a land? You can buy a land. Don't even build on it. Leave it there for 2 years. Before you know it, it's going to appreciate. And that paycheck, if it's just one paycheck you're using, one paycheck cannot just do the magic. We keep saying this over and over again. People, folks, you need to get it straight. You having a paycheck, just one paycheck, one stream of income, it can't do it. You need more streams of income. And that, like Modupe said, Motrayan said, that's where our business comes in. You need to have a business you're doing on the side. When you have a business, you can accumulate assets through your business, and that's how you can leave some you can leave a good legacy. You can leave investment. You can leave property for your children at the end of the day. But with just one stream of income, that's in the same stream of income. That's where you're going to buy your car. You get a car note. That's where you're going to buy all this, your Gucci, your bags, and all that. And so we accumulating more debt upon it. We accumulating more debt. But if you have a business that is running on the side for you, why are you using one your paycheck to do all that? Your business is what is right there. I mean, it's working for you, working for your future, working for your children's future. So, guys, we need to think smart. As from now on, like Motrayo said, when you go to your bed tonight, think, make una sleep, ka sun, ka ji, kama sun para. So that's what we really need. Let's work smart and not work hard. People have been working hard all this while. I was in the shoe before. I was working two, three jobs. I'll think, oh, I've arrived. Where is that arrived? No, I mean, there's nothing like arrive. At the end of the day, I was accumulating debt upon debt. That is when I know, oh, I see this bag on online. I want to get this. I see this. I want to get it. But because the mentality of having my own business was not there at that time. But now that I have my business, I'm not going to think about that. What I'm going to be thinking is how I can have an asset that my children will see at the end of the day. They will say, mommy, thank you for what you did for us. Grandma, thank you for what you did for us. So guys, please, let's work smart and not hard anymore. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One quick thing, Coach Adebola.
Motrayo.
As you go to your bed, just know that asset, when you have your ability, you are sure of asset and you are ready to step out of your comfort. And your liability brings lamentation at the end of the day.
Thank you. Thank you for that last word. We're just a few minutes above our time. So thank you very much, ladies. You really, delved into this topic, and I mean, you did a good job. I hope our listeners, our audience, were able to take some few, things away today. Remember, we are all business owners. We are digital business owners, and we're using our business to create passive income. And that's what we are trying to tell you to do. Okay? You need cash flow. You cannot do without it. It's going to help you to maintain your life, to build assets rather than just liabilities. And then, achieve that thing that you want to achieve. Nobody wants to wait until they are 65 before they start to enjoy their life. Enjoy your life now while you're young. Retiring early is possible. It depends on when you want it. So you have our website on the screen. You are free to reach out to any of us or just go to our website and just get access to our complimentary business session. There you will hear more about how to get started with your own digital business. So till we come again very soon, I wish everybody all the best. Hope you make the right decision and God bless you all. Thank you all. Thank you, my wonderful business partners, for making it possible today. And bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.